from the station taking action for you. This is ABC Action News.
Now at 5:30 into the breaking news center. As you were sleeping, St. Pete police right now searching for the person who stabbed a man at a local park. Another story I'm tracking right now, the search for this 9-year-old at the center of a missing child alert here in Florida. Police concerned because he is on the autism spectrum.
And also in just moments, you will hear why the accused Wesley Chapel movie theater shooter is going to court over his guns. And new this morning, why a judge is ordering a Central Florida Planned Parenthood to stop performing abortions. We'll have those stories and more coming up in just a moment. But first, here's Shay with Florida's most accurate forecast. Shay?
All right, good morning, Dia. And the rain right now is along the coast. That's where it's all going to begin early in the day, and then it's going to continue pressing inland through the afternoon with more storms in the mix by the afternoon. We'll make it up to 86 degrees by noon, 90 as a high. And as we check our major bridges and roadways in and around Tampa Bay, most of them are pretty dry at the moment. We do have some patches of heavy rain up and down 19, but again, 75, I-4, and the bridges right now are on the dry side. So hopefully, Lindsay, as people are walking out the door this morning, they're not going to have any major issues on the roads. And again, this is a wet trend that's going to continue.
Nothing that I'm seeing just yet, right, Shay, across the bridges. Wet roads, of course, in Pinellas County, but you can take a live look outside. This is going to be my camera on the Pinellas side of the Howard Franklin Bridge, the busiest traveled bridge across Old Tampa Bay. And you can see here traffic is moving up to speed. In fact, across all of your bridges, here's a quick check at your average speeds. You are in the green, and that means you're 60 miles an hour over the Courtney Campbell, 67 over the Howard Franklin, 61 across the Gandy. On the Gandy, that's about a 6-minute commute for you drivers this morning, and that's pretty normal. Here's a live look at one of the busiest interchanges throughout the Bay Area. This is going to be I-4 at the I-275 junction. Things here also up to speed. I'll have updates all morning long on Twitter at Tampa Bay Traffic. Dan.
Thanks, Lindsay. 5:32, an investigation unfolding overnight in St. Petersburg. Right now, officers are looking for the person who stabbed a man near Williams Park. If you were downtown overnight, you may have noticed police spread out over a 2-block area. They say they were following a blood trail that goes that far as they tried to figure out where this whole thing started and ended. At this point, investigators aren't saying much, only that one man was stabbed and taken to the hospital. They do say he is cooperating, though.
Happening today, the accused Wesley Chapel movie theater shooter is getting ready to head back to court. Attorneys for Curtis Reeves are expected to argue 2 things today. Reeves, a retired Tampa police captain, is accused of fatally shooting a father, Chad Olson, right before the start of a movie after an argument over texting back in January. We want to get right to Ashley Glass. She's live at the Dade City Courthouse to bring us up to speed on what's happening today. Good morning, Ashley.
And Dia, you mentioned 2 new items to be taken up today, and one of those items is really the standout. See, Curtis Reeves wants all of his guns to be moved, and his attorneys will argue that here at the courthouse today. See, as a condition of his release, Reeves is not allowed to have possession of firearms. All of his guns were surrendered to the Pasco sheriff, but documents filed in court just within the last 24 hours reveal that Reeves now wants to move all of his guns to a Tampa bomb squad commander's home in Odessa to have him take possession of them and for storage. We spoke to our ABC Action News legal analyst, Cooley Law Professor Jeff Schwartz about it.
The police officer is charged with enforcing the orders of the court. I don't think the police officer is going to do anything that is going to get him into trouble or get found in contempt of court.
Right now, Reeves can only leave his home for church, the doctor, or the grocery store as ordered by the court when he was released on bond. But today, his lawyers will also ask the judge for him to be allowed to visit their law offices in Tampa. The judge is expected to take up both of these motions here at the Dade City Courthouse 1 o'clock this afternoon, as detailed in these newly filed court documents. Of course, we will have a crew right here to cover it for you. Live in Dade City, Ashley Glass, ABC Action News.
Another story I'm watching closely in the breaking news center, a little boy missing. Right now, authorities in Jacksonville are searching for this missing 9-year-old, activating a statewide missing child alert late last night. Take a closer look at Leo Walker. The reason there's extra urgency here is because Leo is on the autism spectrum, and authorities say he is in need of immediate medical assistance. He was last seen yesterday morning near his home. Of course, Jacksonville, pretty far away, but we're sure to share this alert with your family and friends. You know, it may be up that way. I've tweeted out the information on this alert at Dan Schaefer 28.
Well, he is already charged with killing a cheerleader, but this morning we are now learning that a 19-year-old Bradenton man is in even more trouble. You may recall last month, Frank Bryce turned himself into authorities just a day after 17-year-old Terry Walls was killed by a stray bullet outside a movie theater. Jasper Dudley is also accused in that shooting. We have learned that Bryce has been connected to and charged in a separate case for lewd and lascivious battery for having sex with a minor.
Breaking overnight, Hillsborough County fire crews battling a huge house fire in Riverview. Take a look at this video coming to us from Fire Rescue. It started at about 11 o'clock at this house on D Circle in Riverview. When crews arrived, they say there were flames shooting out of the windows. Firefighters got that fire under control in about 20 minutes. As you can see, the house is badly damaged. There was a woman in this home when the fire broke out. Thankfully, she got out safely. We'll keep checking in with Fire Rescue to see if they figured out exactly what started this fire.
Right now, doctors are keeping a close eye on a 3-year-old girl who fell out of a 3rd-floor apartment window. Tampa fire crews told us the girl was jumping on a bed and somehow fell through a screened-in window at Andover Place Apartments. Witnesses say the girl was crying, but she appeared to be physically okay. The girl's mom was at home at the time, and investigators say it was just an accident, and the girl is expected to make a full recovery. And now to this developing story in Kissimmee right now, where a judge has just ordered a new Planned Parenthood clinic to stop performing abortions, at least for right now. This all stems from a lawsuit filed by owners of a cardiovascular medicine practice that's located in the same medical park as that Planned Parenthood clinic. Now, they claim the clinic is violating deed restrictions on what services can be offered on the property. Specifically, those rules ban any outpatient surgery. Planned Parenthood says it investigated those rules before buying the property and says it is in the right. The organization has 30 days now to appeal the injunction.
In just hours, Bay Area veterans will have a new option for health care. The James A. Haley Veterans Hospital is cutting the ribbon on its new primary care annex this afternoon. It's located at Fletcher Avenue and I-75 in North Tampa. The new 106,000 square foot annex contains a new women's center and expanded dental services, among other things. New information right now on the National VA scandal. The Department of Veterans Affairs will significantly increase its referrals of vets to private doctors. This is all on the heels, of course, of the VA accused of falsifying appointment records, which led to some patients waiting months for treatment. In the last 2 months, the VA has made more than 838,000 referrals for vets to see private doctors. That is a 25% increase from last year.
Out here now at the .com wall, a little girl who so many of us connected with on a Facebook page called Horses for Lex could really use our prayers right now. Overnight, that 7-year-old who is battling cerebral palsy, she has heart and kidney problems along with a seizure disorder, spiked a fever and had to be taken to the ER. Take a look at this right now. This picture of Lex and her mom in the hospital was posted less than an hour ago, saying that they were waiting on some tests. Now, hopefully soon she will be well enough to get the surprise of a lifetime. You see, Lex absolutely loves horses and she loves getting mail. So last month, an art student in Lakeland created a Facebook page called Horses for Lex, asking strangers to mail in drawings. And the response has been overwhelming. Pictures in all colors, shapes, and sizes are flooding into Lex's home in Oklahoma from all over the world.
To see such an outpouring, honestly, changes my whole outlook on life.
I think it restores your faith in humanity. That's what it does, you know, because a lot of people, I mean, there's still people that, oh, thank you, Travis. And I really look at it, I'm like, I did one drawing. I'm like, it really, what made it this big was everyone else.
Now, here is the big surprise. One Facebook fan took this even further by surprising Lex and her family with a real horse, an actual real horse that he gave to the family. Lex was supposed to be surprised with that horse named Snickerdoodle this morning in Riverview. But again, she got sick and had to go to the ER last night after she and her family arrived in the Bay Area. Again, this picture posted just an hour ago. We are checking. We've been making phone calls overnight and throughout the morning to see how she's doing. And when we find out, of course, we'll let you know.
New this morning, well, we all know how easy it is to use Google's Street View, but now we're getting an underwater view, and it's happening right here in Florida. Researchers are using special lenses underwater in the Keys this week to map out marine sanctuaries like this one. This is the Christ of the Deep statue in John Pennycamp State Park in Key Largo. Let me get a little better look at it here as I fiddle around with this. Pretty cool. All right, about 400,000 pictures have already been taken in Australia and the Caribbean, but this is the first time in the U.S. Google hopes to have these images available online for everyone a little later this week.
Wow, Dan, that is super cool. And we are certainly going to be seeing through some water today as you're headed about town, in fact. Take a look. The wetter trend has already begun. The rain is going to be moving from west to east again, and most of it will be to the west of I-75 in the first part of the day and then headed inland through the afternoon and into the early evening. We've got about 50% coverage today, so certainly off and on rain today. You'll want to grab the umbrella as you head out the door and expect some wet roads this morning and this afternoon. But we've even got some wetter days ahead. That leaves us with the question, will the weekend be a washout? I will have that answer for you in Florida's most accurate 7-day coming up. Dan?
The streets of St. Louis suburb looking like a war zone again overnight. We've got the new video of police clashing with protesters as more witnesses to the shooting of an unarmed teen are speaking out about what they saw happen.
And also this morning, a Florida community is right now mourning the sudden and tragic death of a football player. What we know so far about this promising teen's passing. Right now, though, we're taking action to help you find work. This is our job of the day. It's courtesy of our partners at Job News Tampa. If you'd like to apply for this job, we've got everything you need to know on our website, abcactionnews.com/jobs. 5:42. Stay with us. We'll be right back.